AskReddit by Just Peasy. What city is extremely overrated in your opinion? Miami. A city of narcissists and attention whores. I swear Miami Beach is the poser capital of the world. Nothing personal, but Dubai. And I'm not a city designer, but I don't think you call it a downtown when there's a 12-lane highway cutting through a bunch of skyscraper walls and that's it. I've never been there, but from what I've seen it looks like the result of someone playing SimCity who found a cheat code to get to the end game. Dubai. Dubai is too expensive, too hot, has too much traffic, has a shitty human rights record and has a fixation on superficial bullshit. The list of shitty things is too long. Miami. Seen as the holy land for vacations here in Latin America, but in reality it is just so meh. I'm surprised. There are 1,000 places in Latin America I would choose to visit over Miami. I don't know if anyone but children and retirees actually like this city, but lord I hate Orlando. Yeah, in the I-4 from Tampa leading up to it is some fucking Mad Max Fury Road. Dublin is a complete tourist trap. I am Irish and I see people coming to Ireland expecting the full Irish experience in Dublin, when really all the good shit is outside the capital spread out all across the country. They head up to Temple Bar for the Irish pub experience and pay 3-4 times more for drinks than anywhere else in the country. The city itself is a product of British occupation. Same style of city you will find up and down England with Georgian, Victorian and Edwardian architecture along with generic modern design. Look, there are historic places and nice places to eat but nothing out of the ordinary. If you want to see the real Ireland, go to the countryside, the unique landscapes of the Ring of Kerry, the Clare Burren and Cliffs of Moher, the Connemara and Donegal mountainous areas along with tons of historical locations all across the country. If you want an Irish city, Temple Bar is the shit show, but I love the National Gallery and Street Stephen's Green and the famine statues along the Liffey always make me cry. Not a fan of the trendy cities like Charlotte or Nashville. A lot of younger people my age are moving there and they act like going to a mediocre brewery and spending $30 on a craft beer and tiny cut of brisket is some type of unique southern cultural experience. Not to mention the cities are now barely affordable for the people actually from there, and every other block is full of those cookie cutter gentrified apartments that just look bland as hell. Both cities have some cool parts to them, but to me they just aren't as special as people make them seem. Edit. Thanks for the upvotes and being civil in the comments folks. Didn't mean to be rude or anything. I like both cities, they just didn't really live up to my expectations lol. Yinza. Pisa was a bit of a letdown. I mean, is there anything else to do in Pisa than visit the obvious? Vegas. I used to go there every summer for tech conferences. I always use the analogy that Vegas is a lot like KFC. It's gross, greasy, and messy, and you wonder what possessed you to go there in the first place 6 months later. For some inexplicable reason, you get the urge to go again. You remember what it was like the last time, but somehow you are still drawn to it. The worst city I've ever been to is Oklahoma City, which is rated appropriately. No complaints on the current rating. Orlando. It's basically just Disney, traffic is insane, and yeah 90% tourists. Oh, and did I mention traffic? Because it's awful. I hated having to commute there from Cape Canaveral when I lived in Florida. Myrtle Beach. Tourists act like it's the damn Bahamas. I greatly appreciate that anyone saying Chicago is getting downvoted. I go there multiple times per year and drive 3 hours to get there. As many times as I've been, there's still so much to do and see. It's packed with culture and experiences. I wouldn't want to live there, though. I couldn't handle the traffic every day like that. LMAO at the people who haven't even been to the cities they're slagging off as overrated. and my vote is Raleigh. People are going nuts to move to a giant anonymous suburb. I like the Raleigh-Durham area, but the house prices there, especially around Carey-Morrisville Apex, have gone insane. It costs more to live there than in Atlanta now. Niagara Falls. Even if it's poorly rated, that rating is still too high. It's a nice pair of waterfalls. Shame about the towns they put there. Nashville. My former employer was headquartered there, and so I went frequently. It seems like if you don't like drinking or country music, you're kind of out of luck. Also, it wasn't that walkable and no real nice parks with trails, etc. I guess it depends on where you go. I just moved to East Nashville a couple months ago and can walk to literally everything and everywhere I need to go. There's 4 music venues within walking distance and plenty more just another mile away in any direction. I've been to a punk, surf rock, and indie group at different and great venues. There's also 2 golf courses as well as a park with a long running biking trail, dog park, disc golf, the works. This is all less than a mile from where I live. I've barely spent any time downtown and it doesn't really feel like you need to unless you enjoy a spectacle, but that's the same for damn near any downtown area of any mid to major city in the US. I lived in Spokane before and downtown sucked, but there were neighborhoods that made nightlife much more enjoyable. I also dislike country music, and haven't had a single issue lol. Deleted. Las Vegas. It's just an airport strip mall in the desert. Portland seemed super cool in Portlandia, but when I was there half the city seemed like it was just utterly dying and gross or unsafe. Go to the other Portland, Maine, if you get a chance. Cool city. Aspen, Colorado. Lived there for 4 years. Bedroom community of Southern California. Overpriced and phony as heck. The people who visit there all think they are all that. The summer institutes are all intellectual phonies, all acting like they are not only the most creative thinkers on the planet but all the coolest. Make me wanna puke. The restaurants are great there, no question. The summer weather is also supremely awesome, a secret between us skiers for years. In the winter it's filled with people dying to be looked at for their overpriced ski ensembles. Locals wear jeans sprayed with waterproofing. We appreciate their money but honestly, don't like the turkeys at all. Austin, Texas. I used to really love it, but I'm determining how much I love it to keep paying enough to stay TBH. I'm noticing since I quit drinking how much of its culture is alcohol related personally. Anywhere, if you have no money. What's the point of travel if you can't eat local food or visit museums? I'd say DC is an exception to this. Spent a great weekend there perusing the museums and sites on and around Capitol Hill and didn't pay a dime. Pigeon Forge, Sevierville, Tennessee. Nothing but hotels, overly priced cheap China-made knickknacks, and people from a far northern state that moved down here pretending to be an Appalachian mountain person. As a real Appalachian mountain person, I find the entire city nothing more than a repulsive tourist trap. Edit. If you want to visit the real Tennessee, visit Rogersville, Jonesboro, Dandridge, or literally just go take a drive and get lost and find a small town somewhere. You'll get to see what we are really about. Learn our history from late 1700s downtown areas. See things that the tourist traps can't give you, and not just see a bunch of bogus tacky stereotypical bullshit that literally nobody up here does, or even knows what they are. Anyone in a small off the interstate town will know all the best spots to go, and most will gladly tell you where to find them. Tourist trap 100%. I went when I was about 9 on a family vacation, and even kid me caught on to how gimmicky and tacky everything was. Asheville, NC, ruined by tourists and drugs. I have family in the area and have been through a few times. Asheville is nice if you don't go in expecting it to be the greatest thing ever, and you don't get suckered into staying at the Grove Park Inn like we did. That place was absolute bedlam. A tourist trap where there's nowhere to sit and you get charged out the wazoo for everything. Even self-park was something like $25 a day. Luckily I was able to cancel our stay after one night and we switched to a simpler hotel downtown, which was much better. My husband walked around exploring breweries while my pregnant bird bobbed around in the roof deck pool, admiring the mountains. Paris, and I'm French, but yeah, there is some nice stuff, but overall it's overrated. Too expensive. Our country really have some nice things to see other than Eiffel Tower and Louvre. There is literally a syndrome called the Paris syndrome felt by some tourists, causing anxiety and fear. When I went to France I stayed in Lille. Whenever I tell this to a French person they have a good laugh, but I really enjoyed it. People were awesome and we went across the border and partied in Belgium every night. Obligatory Los Angeles comment goes here. As a lifelong resident, it's an okay place to visit, but a great place to live. The attractions are pretty meh and the transit system needs more work, but the cultural diversity and mellow weather can't be beat. Ibiza. Hot dog to bun ratio is seriously off. Dallas. Austin. Not cool anymore. Waikiki. Nothing about it authentic or Hawaiian. Even the Hawaiians hate it. TBF, Waikiki isn't a city, just the tourist section of Honolulu. It's like complaining about the strip being fake and touristy. That's the point.